This is the Veteran Woman Podcast, the only podcast dedicated to empowering, inspiring, and encouraging veteran women to overcome their struggles and celebrate their successes. Now, here's your host, the one and only Ariel Renal.
Hello, listeners. How are you doing today on this next day of podcast? Today, I have on the line Adanna Austin, who is a business coach and consultant from the islands of Trinidad and Tobago. Woo!
Oh, yes.
You'll hear that beautiful accent. She works one-on-one with entrepreneurs to develop a winning mindset to run their business, develop SMART goals, identify their ideal clients, and develop strategies to generate revenue and grow their businesses. So if you're an entrepreneur, up and coming, and you need help, she's one of the people you can turn to. Welcome, Adanna.
Thank you for having me here. I'm super excited to share, to learn, just to be here generally. Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for coming. Oh, thank you for doing this interview. I like to say coming like we're actually physically together, but I know we're not.
Right.
But I get to see you on Skype and everything, so that's kind of cool.
Yes.
So what do you want our listeners to know about you? Because I know we read the bios and everything, and that's like the political and putting it in 2 or 3 sentences or whatnot. But what do you want them to really know?
Well, what I want them to know is, well, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and what I want them to know is that business takes time. Growing your business takes time. A lot of people that I work with, a lot of entrepreneurs that I work with, think that, it happens overnight. They think that where I am happened overnight. And I'm here to say it does not. It really, really does not. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of persistence, and, just believing in yourself. Because there will be times where you just feel like giving up. That's part of our journey. And those are the times where you really need to push yourself even further. You need to push yourself even harder, because you will have your dips and flows and stuff like that. So that is one of the core messages I want people to remember after I've spoken, that it takes time, people. It does not happen overnight. But once you're persistent, it will happen. Definitely will happen.
And I know I've gotten frustrated many times because this journey of entrepreneurship, it's difficult, but it's very rewarding.
It is.
So how does a person know, like when they're on this journey, how do they know whether or not their ideas are, real, and how to validate them, and how to know, like, okay, you're not really going down the right road?
Well, one of the things, I had a client just this morning, and we were speaking about that. We have to do our research. What we feel is that, we get up one morning with a really great idea and we just run with it. And then we stop and figure out, why is nobody buying from me? Why is nobody listening to me? Because you didn't do the research. Not that your idea may be wrong, but you need to figure out who you're speaking to. You need to figure out what do people really want, and tweak your idea to answer their challenges. And that's how you really know. I mean, for me, I didn't start off as a business coach and consultant. I started off as a marketing and PR consultant, because that's my love. I love marketing. I love marketing. And I love PR. And that's where I started off. And eventually, like 2 to 3 years into the business, I realized that my clients not only wanted marketing support and PR support, they were asking me for support, like how to keep them accountable, how to keep them motivated, how do they find their ideal clients? Because that was not what I was focusing on. I'm going to write out this marketing strategy and I'm going to help you implement it. And that's what I was doing. But after getting like 4 or 5 people asking me the same questions, I was like, okay, there's something there. There's a need. Obviously, people need something. So I decided to do some research, and because I didn't know what coaching was at all, actually. I only knew about it last year. And I decided to do some research. I decided to sign up for school. I went to school. I learned a lot of new strategies. And then I launched my business. You know what I mean? But again, I had to do research. I went out and I asked other entrepreneurs if this is something they would be interested in learning, interested in getting support. And that's what I did. But what I did not do was just jump into it. I did a lot of research. And I think that's where a lot of our entrepreneurs fall short. They don't do the research to figure out exactly how their idea will help the ideal client. So you have to do a lot of research first. I mean, I didn't even start off as a business coach. I was doing life coaching. I actually did health coaching. Then I started off as business coach. And I figured out, again, by doing research and testing the market, I figured out which one would make more sense for me and make more sense for the people that I was attracting. That's how I ended up here, actually. So a lot of research, a lot of research, a lot of asking people questions.
So you can definitely start out in one thing and end up in something else. Like how you said, based on who you were attracting, and then they're asking you for this help and that help, and then you're like, hold on, maybe onto something. And then from there you research and find out the best way to help them.
Yeah. As I tell my clients, your goal remains the same. My goal was to be a coach and to help people. I always loved helping people. So my goal was always that. What changed was my strategy.
I love that.
So your goal remains the same, but your strategy can change. And that's fine. That's part of growth as an entrepreneur.
I think that's the quote of the podcast, the quote of the episode. Goal remains the same. It's the strategy that changes.
6 months from now. In fact, what I'm doing now is completely different from what I was doing 6 months ago. My strategy has changed based on the feedback I've gotten from my clients and based on the people that I am attracting, because I'm attracting a totally different type of entrepreneur now. And so the strategy has to change to accommodate their needs and their challenges. And that's fine. But my goal is still to help and empower entrepreneurs. So, yeah, that's
definitely inspiring me, because I know this has been up and down and changing. And one day I'm thinking I'm doing this, and then people start coming to me for something else, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's not what I set out to do.
Exactly.
And then learning how to tie it all together, because I have people coming to me more about things that fall under entrepreneurship umbrella.
Right.
Even though I'm marketing myself as a life coach. But like I realize is like how you listed in your bio, people need to know the goals, the SMART goals, depending on where they are in life, determining what matters most to them, their true passion, and interpreting that and stuff. So it all goes together.
Because part of your business coaching, you realize you have to do some level of life coaching in there. Because if their life is a mess, it affects their business, so you have to kind of make that connection, but then decide which part of it you're actually focusing on. So I do a little bit of life coaching in my business coaching, but I focus on the business aspect of their lives. You know what I mean? And the thing is, as you said, there are going to be people going to come to you for different things. You're going to change your strategy. But one of the big things you also have to remember is that you don't have to say yes to every single thing. Because people come to me every week with, Adanna, I want you to collaborate with me on this and do this with me and do that with me. And I've learned that it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to some things because it may not align with your value system. It may not align with your plan, your bigger plan for your business, although it may seem like a great opportunity for them. But when I take those things and I assess it based on where I want my business to go and to grow and how best I can help my clients, sometimes it's best that I say no at this particular point, because I don't want to overwhelm myself as well. It makes no sense I'm super tired, because I can't help my clients if I'm always super tired doing 10 different projects at the same time, you know. So you have to also know when to say no, or when to say enough is enough. And this is what I am, and this is what I provide.
And that's healthy. I mean, we have to set those boundaries. And
Yeah,
it's not being selfish, it's a necessity. Because like you said, we can't help other people if we're tired, and we can't
definitely.
fill another glass if our glass is empty.
Exactly what that is. Yeah, yeah. You need to find that balance, and you need to set boundaries as well. You know, because people are going to come out of the woodwork. The more successful you get, people are going to come out of the woodworks and just be like trying to ride your back and want to collaborate and want to do this and that. But I mean, a lot of times it's based on they see the benefit for them, and it really has no benefit for you. So you have to be able to decipher what makes sense for you in the long run. Sometimes I know in business we have to do things we're not comfortable with, but for me, I try to stick to my core beliefs and my core values. And if I feel really uncomfortable with something, I definitely say no.
So, what attracted me to you? What the reason why I reached out to you, and I'm so glad you said yes,
I
was
did say it.
was the article that said how depression, and I apologize, I don't have the thing right in front of me,
Yeah,
but how depression helped you start your business or got you on your
yeah,
way, really.
yeah.
And just that title alone, please state the title for me, because of that title alone, I was like, oh my goodness,
How
I
depression
need
led
her.
me. Yes, how depression led me to quit my job and start my own business.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. That was a journey. That actually is a journey, because I've been suffering with depression for a long time. A lot of people didn't even know I was depressed. It's something I hid for a long time, because in my family and in my circle, I'm the person who cheers everybody on. And I'm the strong support system. So to go and say, guys, I feel depressed would have been a little like, what are you talking about, Adanna? You can't be depressed. But I was depressed for a long time based on, I experienced a lot of heartache in my family, a lot of debts in my family, a lot of things weren't going my way, and I didn't know. I was really struggling, how to pull myself out of it. It was so bad that, like, for nearly 2 years, I did absolutely nothing in my business, because I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to talk to. I just didn't think that people understood. And I tried to go to counseling. And again, the counselors were like, yeah, but you have everything you need. You have a good family and a good job. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not fulfilling me. And I never found that person to, really understand the struggles that I was going through. And I think last year, 2015, the end of 2015, I suffered some really 3 major blows back to back. And that made me go into, like, the deepest depression I've ever been in. But I look at it now as a blessing in disguise. I look at it because I think that forced me to get a coach myself. It forced me to take care of my health a little more. I had to end up having an operation and all of those things. And I just remember being home healing, because I suffer from panic attacks. I remember being home healing, and it was like 5 days before I had to go back to my 8 to 4 job, because in Trinidad we work 8 to 4 and not 9 to 5. And I sat on my couch thinking about, okay, I have to go back to work on Monday. And I got this massive panic attack. And I was like, no way. And I called my mom and I said, Mom, I am not going back to that job. And she said, you know what, Adanna, you need to make yourself happy. Do what you need to do. I called my boss and she was like, what? Are you mad? You have to come back to work. I'm like, no. At this point in time, I had no plan. I had absolutely no plan. I'm like, how my bill's going to be paid? I don't know. But God is good. And he's going to get me through this. And in a matter of 4 days, I resigned and I went full-fledged into my business, and no turning back. everything has worked out. Everything has fell into place. And now my business is booming and I'm happy. I can't remember the last time I had a panic attack. I suffered with a lot of pain and stuff. And now my pain has like 90% of it has subsided. It's ridiculous, the change in my life since I've left my job. And not that the job was horrible, but I wasn't fulfilled and I wasn't happy. And I needed to make that move. And I credit my depression for, driving me to do that, because I was at the bottom of the barrel and I knew that I needed to make a change in order to find myself and in order to help the clients that I wanted to help. I couldn't be helping you and I'm in a mess, so that made a big difference in my life. And I'm really glad that I took the leap, and I encourage others to take the leap. It's scary, but it's very, very scary. But with the right mindset, with the right plan, or don't do like me and have no plan, but with the right mindset and with the right plan, it definitely can be done. I have a few clients who have taken the leap right after me, and they are actually doing really, really well. So I know that it can be done. Have a plan. Don't follow that part of what I did. Have a plan.
I agree with having a plan. What drew me to you was that title of the article, because I was like, before I even read the article, I was like, that's like telling part of my story. And then hearing you tell that story, I'm like, that's similar to what I went through. You get up, you're deep depression, you get up, and of course I'm abbreviating what happened.
Of course.
You get up and you got to go to work and you have this massive panic attack.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I can't do this. You don't know what you're going to do, but you can't do it. And then therapy, you got so far in therapy. And then it's like, and yeah, they're telling you got all this, all that, all this. And they're pretty much looking at you like, why are you depressed?
Yes, exactly. Why are you depressed? You have a house, you have a car, you have a business, you have a good family. But I'm sad.
But at that moment, you're so freaking stuck. You're like,
yeah,
I got all that, but something's not right. Something's still,
right.
it's still, but, and then, it seems like when you hit that rock bottom, you have nowhere else to go but up.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to leave my job. I was in the military. I wasn't able to leave in 4 days. It took about 6 months, but from there is like, because I wasn't able to have like another job because of the panic attacks and everything. Yeah. I was like, I gotta find a way. And I love helping people. And it's when I got a coach that really helped me, because that coaching is that saying, okay, this is where you are. Let's move forward.
Yeah, getting a coach really helps.
It's amazing. It's amazing, the benefit of it. And that's what inspired me to become a coach as well, because I'm like, I love that feeling that that it gave me, and there was like that pick me up to continue on. And of course, therapy has its place. I always tell people therapy has its place. Yes. But coaching, do not knock it.
Do not knock it at all. And that article actually, it was so weird, because the article was first appeared in Huffington Post. And it was weird because one of my goals for this year was to get published in Huffington Post. And I came home, I visited my parents one Sunday, and I came home and I just wrote the article. And I did not even look it over. I didn't read it over because I knew reading it over would open too much wounds for me. So I just wrote it. I didn't spell check. I did nothing. And I just submitted it to Huffington Post, right? And within an hour, I got back a response saying it was accepted. So I was like,
wow.
Huh? Okay.
Wow.
So then, they sent you to log in, and I went in and I logged. I still didn't read it. I logged in, I copied and pasted it, and I just pressed publish. And then I shared it on my Facebook page, on my business page. I just shared it everywhere, and the response was ridiculous. The response was ridiculous because so many people who are going through the same thing. And you never think that anybody else is going through what you are going through. And I got so many messages from people who I haven't heard from for years, and other people in business who were struggling with the same issues. So that was a blessing in disguise, because I was able to talk to more people. Because of that, I've been able to talk to a lot of groups and stuff about how I've been able to overcome it. And because it's a work in progress, I would never tell anybody that I'm over it. I tell my mother every day, I'm taking it one day at a time, because I don't know what I'm going to get up and feel like tomorrow, But publishing that article was amazing, and I got it. One of my local newspapers contacted me, and they read it, and they wanted to publish it as well. So it got even more exposure. And then people were calling me and asking me about certain parts of the article, and I was like, I wrote that? I can't even remember writing it. Because it was literally, I just flushed, you know what I mean? I just wrote what I was feeling, what I was thinking, and, but I think it's a blessing in disguise, and that was part of my healing as well. It was a big part of my healing, because I was able to share, I was able to get certain things off my chest, and I'm able to help other people, which is my goal. So it always ties back to my goal. So that was a different strategy, but it tied back to my goals. My goal is the same. My strategies are just different.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
Love it. So I think that will be a perfect place to take us into our lightning round. So I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
So it's pretty much whatever comes to mind.
Oh, gosh. Alrighty. Okay.
Uh-huh. So, and we've kind of already gotten like a bomb diggity career advice or business advice, which is, have a plan, research, and remember the goal stays the same, even though there'll be ups and downs, your strategies change. But what's another piece of business or career advice that you received that really stuck with you?
Besides that, it takes time. I would say, listen to your clients. Really, really listen to them. Listen to the words that they're using. Listen to what they're saying besides what they're saying. Because there's always a message underneath the message. One of the things I've learned is to really stop and listen a little more attentively. Because sometimes you think you know the answer, but you really don't. And you have to listen to what they're saying in order for you to really help them the way they need to be helped. And don't say yes to everything. If you know that you can't help somebody, send them to somebody who can. You can't help everyone, and that's fine. That's not a weakness. It's not a fault. That's fine. You can't. I've turned away clients because I realized their issues were bigger than what I could help them with, and that's fine. Yeah.
So you're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
What is the best life advice you've ever received?
The best life advice I've ever received is to find what makes you happy and do it. Find what makes you happy and do it. Stop trying to please everybody. Can't be a people pleaser. I was a people pleaser for a long time. I have to make sure mommy's happy, daddy's happy, brother's happy, husband's happy, kids are happy. And I wasn't happy. And not to be selfish, but you have to be happy first before you can make anybody else happy. And that's what I'm doing now. So I don't want to work today. I'm not going to work. If I want to go to the beach, I'm going to the beach. You know what I mean? If I need to eat junk food today, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do things that make me happy. And once I'm happy, everybody else around me will be happy. Because then I can share that with you. My joy and my radiance and my abundance will overflow into their lives as well. It wouldn't overflow if I'm miserable.
So true.
So find what makes you happy and just do it.
Happiness is contagious.
Yeah. Don't start with other people think, what other people will say. Just do you. And that's what I've been doing these last few months. I'm just doing me, and I'm jumping on planes and going where I shouldn't be going, but it makes me happy. So I'm doing it. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Find what makes you happy and just do it. Yeah.
What is, if you had to pick one book that you've read, what book would you recommend to our listeners?
Wow. That book, a business book, right?
Or any book.
Wow, I'm watching my library as you say this. One of the things I would say is
it could be like self-improvement, self-help, business, any of that.
I would say Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That was a book that my coach actually put me on to. And that really, really changed the way that I thought about business. I was always positive about business and stuff, but it really switched my mindset about how I should approach my business and how I should approach life and how I should plan stuff out. So Think and Grow Rich, definitely. All of my clients, that's part of their assignments. You need to listen or you need to read Think and Grow Rich before we can move on. You needed to really, really get that book. That is one of my all-time favorites, and I always go back to it. One of the other books I would recommend is The Secret.
You just cheated. I said one book.
Oh, sorry. You have to read The Secret. Okay, I'm done. Okay.
Yeah, The Secret is yes.
Okay, good.
You know, yes, The Secret really changed me because that opened my mind up to a whole nother thing. And then after reading The Secret, I was able to understand Think and Grow Rich as well. Because it's like the law of attraction, the mindset, and all of that. So I'll give you that one.
Thank you so much. Oh my God.
Because I see you looking over at your library. I'm like, she just slipped one in.
Oh my gosh.
I know it's a hard question because there's if you're a reader, there's like so many things that touch you, especially depending on where you are in your life, the time of whatever's going on, and you know, it all matters. And then business versus personal development versus self-help versus, you know, all that kind of stuff. So
I mean, that's one of the things I tell my clients. And as entrepreneurs, we have to continue learning. You never stop learning because you don't know everything. You have to read. Reading has to be part of your strategy. You have to read. You have to do short courses. You have to surround yourself with people who know more than you. Not people who know the same amount, but people who know more than you so that you can learn from them. That's really, really important, you know, because we feel we go to university, we read one book and we know everything. Hell no, you don't.
Life is not that simple.
Yeah, I try to spend at least an hour a day reading something and learning something new and testing out something new, because that's how I can help myself, and then that's how I can help my clients.
And
you know, I have to learn.
And then you can read the same thing over again, and you at a different point in your life, and you get a whole new lesson out of it. Or you could read something along similar lines, but it depends on how the person's telling it.
Yes, the message.
I absolutely love to read.
So it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Yeah, I can lie down whole day and just be reading books.
Right.
And I'll be fine. Yeah, and that's my happiness right there. Just read all day. Yeah, it's great.
So what helpful resources do you want to share with our listeners? And you can plug your own resources, you can plug someone else's, or a combination of both.
Helpful resources. Well, in business, there are a lot of different things. There are a lot of different tools that I use to help me in my business. For like my graphics, I use Canva. For like, because I have a virtual assistant for us to keep in contact, I use Asana. I use Wave app for my accounting, to keep my accounting, because it's important for you to know your money, track your money, right? So I use Wave accounting and stuff. What else do I use? I use a lot of apps on my phone. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. I can't name them because I practically do my business from my phone, right? I use Skype and Zoom and Google Hangouts and, all those great free tools that we need to take advantage of in order to run our businesses smoothly. But the one thing that I do a lot of short courses. And because I know people's time is always an issue, so you don't have time to do like a 6-month course or a year course or whatever. So I do a lot of short courses, and on my website I have, which is mkgdynamics.com, I have 2 short courses on there which people have used before to help them. One of them is about goal setting, because you have to set your goal. And the other one is about getting visible in front of your ideal clients so that you increase your revenue and have recurring clients all the time. So, yeah, those are my 2 resources. Get onto my website, mkgdynamics.com, and use those tools. And, yeah, I'm always on Facebook. I have my own Facebook group as well. And in there, I do a lot of daily coaching. The group is super active. Woo! So I do a lot of daily coaching in there with I call them my tribe, with my tribe of people, And the group is called Dynamic Business Strategists. And it's over 400 of us right now. And it is really, really, really dynamic. And I love my tribe. We keep each other accountable and keep each other motivated every single day. Because, we all go through our ups and downs.
Definitely.
And we need each other. My message to people is that there's enough work for everybody. There's no reason for us to be fighting and putting each other down and tearing each other apart. There's enough work for everybody. And we just need to work together, collaborate. Like how we're doing, I love these kind of collaborations, Collaborate with each other and help each other, because my strength might be your weakness, and vice versa. And if we come together, we can take over the world.
Yes, and we can always learn from each other.
Of course.
Always, because it may be that one thing that was missing, and you're like, oh, or I never thought of it that way, or
Exactly. So we need to, men and women, we need to just help each other. We need to support each other. There's enough work for everybody. There are millions of people there are billions of people in the world to help. So we don't need to tear each other down. We just need to support each other. Share resources, share tools, get it done.
Thank you so much for doing this interview. Thank you so much for saying yes.
Anytime. I'm glad to help. I'm glad to share.
And I appreciate you so much, and I wish you well in everything, and I hope to have you on the show again.
Of course. Whenever you're ready, just give me a holler.
Will do.
You've been listening to the Veteran Woman Podcast. If you want to connect with Ariel and let her know what you thought of today's show, be sure to head over to www.theveteranwoman.com and follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter @The Veteran Woman.